And big breaking news coming in amid the Trump tariff storm. What we are learning is that the former CIA director and veteran diplomat William Burns has issued a scathing letter accusing the Trump administration of waging a war on public service as well as expertise through politically motivated purges of career officials. In this letter, William Burns described watching the US State Department employees leave their posts in tears following staff reductions in July, calling the dismissals a campaign of retribution rather than genuine reform, is the big pitch that's coming in from William Burns. Strong statement against the purge across the Trump administration in key departments as part of a cost-saving measure which came under DOGE. And I'm joined by my colleague Akanksha Swaroop on the broadcast. So Akanksha, a former CIA director, a top member of the intelligence community, issuing a scathing letter against the Trump administration. We don't hear much about DOGE and its benefits when it comes to the Trump administration's outreach to the entire nation as well as their PR exercises. But William Burns over here highlighting the damage that has been done for partisan politics through Elon Musk's entire purge of departments under the Trump administration.
Absolutely, Ayushman. This is also because Donald Trump currently is busy tom-tomming his achievements through the tariffs that have engulfed the entire global economy. But most importantly, to expose the plight of US and its own economy, you have William Burns, the former CIA chief, going on record to pen that letter in which he's made some scathing revelations where he talked about how the tribute to the dedicated career servants has been, in fact, completely stripped away. They have been fired, rather, or pushed out. It's also a sharp indictment of the administration that, and he's argued that they, in fact, deserve better, and this is rather gleeful indignity. He's also argued that the recent reduction in forces is not a good faith effort at sensible reform. Instead, it's an act of retribution and a war on public service and expertise. He's also spoken about stifling dissent under Trump's regime. It's a core argument that's come from Burns that punishing dissent and demanding absolute loyalty creates a system like autocracy where leaders are not given honest advice and they end up making catastrophic errors. It's extremely significant given that the United States tom-toms itself for being the harbinger of democracy, for being the protector of democracy and human rights, and they take jibes at other countries like Russia and China. And so Burns has also spoken about how a healthy government requires experts who can offer candid or contrary insights. We all know that what's happening to John Bolton, who's been a fierce Trump critic, but he was also part of the previous Trump administration. There have been FBI raids only because he did not agree with Trump's policies. He's also spoken about weakening America's competitive edge. He's warned about how hollowing out institutions, primarily like USAID, Voice of America, that's all by cutting research funding is a form of strategic self-immolation and greater power suicide. He's also spoken extensively about enlightening self-interest. He argues that U.S. success has historically come from balancing hard power with soft power, because remember, U.S. also happens to be one of the oldest democracies. And according to William Burns, this is now being demolished. The real threat is a weak state. The threat to America is not a deep state, but a weak state, one with hollowed out institutions and demoralized public servants. And an oath to the Constitution doesn't mean that it should be a precedent. He reminds public servants that their oath is to the U.S. Constitution and the American people, not to a political party, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans. They are not answerable only to the U.S. president. He's also warned for the future, saying that the letter in fact, is just a reminder that the actions that we are witnessing in U.S. bureaucracy and administration are causing generational damage, potentially leading to a self-inflicted generational setback to American leadership. So most importantly, from the India perspective, remember, Ayushman, William Burns has highlighted how Donald Trump is also leading an authoritarian administration, one which is also spilling over to their U.S. foreign policy, something that is amply evident and is bearing testimony in the way he's challenged or rather changed the entire global trading order.
Right, thank you, Akanksha, for decoding that for us. And this comes as the Trump administration is also facing a manpower crunch as well as an expertise crunch in the wake of Elon Musk's purge of several departments as a cost-saving exercise. But as William Burns is pointing out, career officials and a lot of expertise, not just in the areas of diplomacy, but even in the areas of health and manpower management, the Trump administration now struggling to find people to fill those posts after that purge which came in from Elon Musk's Doge department.